Right, for the screencast on Mission 7, which is about the importance of having a relationship with a mainstream financial institution, this was a problem that I thought might be a little tricky. And this is slide 4.3.3. And you're going to learn about what payday loans are. You never want to take one of these. Ridiculous rate of interest. But imagine that you take out a $200 payday loan for 2 weeks with a 20% interest rate. 20% over 2 weeks. So think about that. To get to the annual rate of interest, you'd have to multiply 20% by 26. So that's a ridiculous rate of interest. Anyways, if you take 3 months to pay off the loan, that's 5 renewals. How much interest will you have paid? I think this is a tough one. Some of you may have already done this mission, and even if you've already done the mission, I want to show you how you would have figured this out. I'm going to get you started, but then you do the rest. Okay, so the original loan, okay, let me move this over, is $200, and 20% of $200 is $40, so the balance is $240. Well, at the end of the 2 weeks, you can't pay that, so now you're going to renew that. This is where people get into a lot of trouble with these payday loans. So now we've got the first renewal. Remember, you're going to do 5 renewals. Now we've got a loan of $240. That's what you couldn't pay at the first renewal. Now we're going to be charged 20% of $240, which is $48. So now the new balance is $288. Hopefully you're getting the drift here. So $288 at the second renewal will be your new loan amount. Right? Now 20% of $288 is $57.60. So now we have a new balance of $345.60. Then we get to the third renewal. Hopefully you're getting the picture here. $345.60. Remember, that was the loan amount. You couldn't pay it, so you're renewing again. Oh geez, look how $200 is, became $345. But wait, now we're getting 20% of $345.60, and that's $69.12. So now I owe $414.72. So you're going to keep going. You're going to do that 2 more times to get to your 4th renewal and your 5th renewal. The question asks you about the interest that you pay, so make sure you subtract out the $200 principal. You're going to pay that, but the question asks you what is the interest. So I thought that was a tough one. The rest of it is, I think, pretty straightforward. I will show you where you can find some information. You'll have some credibility questions and some battle questions that we'll deal with. Here's Rick's rent-to-own store. Something that's tricky here, you're going to have a question about a 52-inch flat panel high-definition television set. And the cost to purchase this is $1,500. Or you could rent to own, which would be $100 over 30 months. You might be tempted to say, oh, well then the cost of the TV is $3,000, right? If you rent to own it, 30 times 100. Pretty bad, because that's, well, not quite double. I'm going to show you why. You have to be sure that you add a service fee of $30 to this arrangement. And then the sales tax, whether when you buy it outright, is 5% of the purchase price. So 5% of $1,500, and I will show you, let's see, where's my backpack? $75, but I want to show you that. 1,500 times 0.05 to get that percentage, $75. So this gets a little confusing. When you rent to own, you still are only going to pay $75 sales tax, because that is the purchase price. You're going to pay $30 service fee, and then $100 every 30 months. I think that one is kind of tricky, because you know what? A lot of people forget the fine print, and I don't want you to do that. If you buy the TV outright, you're not going to pay $1,500 for it. You're going to pay $1,575. So there are some questions about the difference. You have some questions about fast cash payday loans. So you'll see that they charge 15% every 2 weeks. Ouch, that's too much. And Quick Mart check cashing store, and you'll have a question here. Here are their fees. If you have a checking account at a mainstream financial institution, you don't have to do that. So I think those are the major items that you'll need. I think, oh, here's a question it asks about Paul. There's a question about Paul, so you'll find Paul's paycheck information there. And here's information about Fred and his desire to have a 52-inch high-definition television before the Super Bowl. And I believe those are... Whoops, didn't want that. Let's get out of here. Here's some information about the bank that you might find helpful. And there's the 411. So I just want to show you those two. Thought they were kind of tricky, and that you might need some help with those. And that's the end of the screencast for Mission 7.